Gypsy is one of the American theater's most mammoth musicals. This fall, Broadway is getting a fresh take, directed by George C. Wolfe. I met up with leading lady Audra McDonald and all the stars in the rehearsal room. Audra, this is happening. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, I'm so everything. Excited and scared.
Humor me, Merman, Roz Russell, Angela Lansbury, Tyne Daly, Bette Midler, Bernadette Peters, Patti LuPone, Audra McDonald.
Staunton.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm talking New York, but you're right. You're very international, yes. Imelda Staunton.
Yes.
The legacy. I mean, it's a legacy. What is it like to see your name on that list?
It's overwhelming, and it's nothing I ever dreamed of having happen in my life. But they were all incredible creatures of Broadway and the theater, and I've certainly been a Broadway baby, since I was a baby. So, in some ways it feels inevitable, and in some ways it feels unbelievable.
Leslie, back on Broadway, Gypsy, good show.
It's a good show, brand new show. We're still working it out. Come on, it's like the most iconic show. And as soon as I heard it was announced, I really bugged my team to be like, Tessitura. And I was in LA, and I was like, if I'm coming back to New York, it's got to be Gypsy.
It's got to be Gypsy. It's got to be Audra.
I mean,
she just walked by. There she is. Icon. So what's it like working with Audra McDonald? She knows you.
I had met her, casually, and literally every day I'm still like, hi, Audra, it's Leslie. Nice to meet you. It's incredible. And I literally show up on days that I'm not called to watch her and Danny Burstein.
They allow you? That's cool.
They do.
About 3 years ago, I started working on her show, The Good Fight. And about 2 years ago, she pulled me aside between takes and went, I'm going to be working on a project that you would be so right for. Let's talk later on in the day. And I thought, okay, and we never wound up talking. And then when I got the offer for this, she texted me immediately and said, do you remember when I mentioned that to you? And I said, yeah. She said, this is it.
Oh
this
my
was
God.
It. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Just on the set of The Good Fight.
Full circle moment. And, and she said, I've been pulling for you this whole time. So it meant a lot to me. And, not only do I love her, she's also the reason to come see this show, this revival. I mean, she's amazing. She's an incredible artist at the top of her game.
Yeah.
And I get to watch her in rehearsal every single day.
It is a story at the end of the day. It's a story of a woman who says all the decisions that have been made about who I should be and what I should be and what I want, I don't agree with that. So it's a person striking out on their own against the order of the time and trying to create a new pathway for herself and for her daughters. Mm-hmm. And along the way, she makes some not great decisions, but that ferocity of determination is something to admire and appreciate. And along the way, she confronts painful truths about herself and comes out on the other side. That's classic drama. Mm-hmm. That's stuff of the Greeks. That's stuff of Shakespeare. Mm-hmm. That's stuff of American plays at their best. It's the story of wanting to be more than society tells you you can be.
Mm-hmm. This is my first time involved in Gypsy in any way. I've never played it before anywhere. And when you pop the hood on it, a lot of people say it's the best musical of all time. And I think that is true. The structure is such that it's always it's a roller coaster. And what's great is that George and Camille and our producers have been given the time and the space to really peel it back and find out what's going on. And it's thrilling.
So what can we expect from this Gypsy? Longtime theater fans like myself have seen a lot of Gypsies. Yeah. What do you think we're in for at the beautifully restored Majestic Theater?
The new Majestic Theater. I think the freshness of the theater is going to bring in the freshness of this material. I think people are going to hear it for the first time in a way. I think it's holding homage to the material in a beautiful way and to past productions, but I think bringing it into a new light. And I think also all of our perspectives and hearts of these new artists in 2024, going into 2025, I think we're bringing our own perspectives and love, and I think that's going to shift things in a beautiful way.
As George said one day, it's not your mother's Gypsy, and it isn't. It's going to be a new take on it, but beautiful and fresh and innovative and ultimately as poignant and incredible as ever.
What is the vision here? I mean, and you've been talking to him for a while. I've been hearing whispers of it for a few years and getting really excited about the idea of you two doing this together. What are we going to see at the Majestic Theater? We've seen a lot of Gypsies.
We're going to see Gypsy. You know, this iconic story of a mother who has ambitions and dreams and a desire to, have her daughters have more than what she had, to stop generational trauma, to make sure that her daughters aren't, subjugated to, an unfulfilled life. She says, I don't want them to cook and clean and sit and die. You're going to see the show. You're going to see the story. It may resonate for you in a different way. And I think as George has so beautifully put it, as he puts everything so beautifully and so masterfully, he says, it's, the fact that we are Black, we are embodying our Blackness. We're not articulating it. It's embodied in the way the story is being told. You will see and feel it. Certain lines may hit different. Hearing a Black woman say, I was born too soon and got started too late. I mean, that you feel that for women as well, but maybe it'll hit different coming from a Black woman. Or, I just think it's that. It's just going to maybe perhaps resonate in a different way. And again, in 2024, as a 54-year-old woman, I don't look at Rose as a monster at all. She's not. I don't think she is.
When Rose is a Black woman navigating this vaudeville world with her daughters, it feels like that's immediately adding more layers to
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's so interesting because so many people wrote about calling Rose a monster. And I wonder if they called her a monster because in 1959, it was a woman who broke all the rules. And it's curious to see. I mean, she does acts. She's not going to get Mother of the Year, but there's a ferocious intensity to deliver, and she brings with it the best of who she is, and she brings with it the least of who she is. And so when the tapestry is America, to me, it's less about, it's not a showbiz fable, it's American fable. It's this landscape that at times can be brutal and challenging, and then people throughout the course of this country have set out to say, no, that's not enough. And so the fact that she is Black and a woman in that landscape, and it's set against a background of a very challenging time in this country, which is when a lot of people were not working, it just brings a rich, wonderful, fun texture to play with.
But she's so relentless. She's also not. George has used a lot of ways to describe her or what she's trying to get. She's like a woman who's not operating within a system of rules. She's a rule breaker, so she's not paying attention. Not that she's not paying attention to certain things, but she's doing regardless of.
Right.
Regardless of the fact that we have to sleep and eat in separate places from white people. Mm-hmm. She's not concerned with that. She's concerned with, how do I make this dream come true? Or how do I survive is really what it is. How do I survive? How do I break all the ceilings, in order to get what I deserve and what my children deserve?
Mm-hmm. Had you met Audra McDonald before getting this role? And what's it been like working with her?
I believe there was a Black woman on Broadway event in 2023, and I saw her glide by, and her hair was blowing in the wind, and that was my meeting her, and I never spoke to her. But in the audition, I got to meet her, and it's been cool getting to know her during this rehearsal process when she's not like massive Rose. Yeah. She's just a lovely, wonderful person. She's a mom, and I feel calm and warm when I'm near her, and it makes it a lot safer to be able to play and learn from somebody that, you put them up here, but really she's just a good person.
Audra McDonald knows who you are. How's that?
I know. Literally, we were 2 weeks into rehearsal, and everything was so busy. And I was like, "Ma'am, can I just shake your hand?" She's like, "We've been working together for 2 weeks." I'm like, "Yeah, but I haven't properly said hi yet because it's been so busy." It's no, she's so inspiring and so down to earth and so grounded, and it's amazing to have someone who you can look at and like see eye to eye with. that you look, that inspires you so much every day. So it's a dream. It really is. And once those lights are on, once we light the lights, it's going to be remarkable.
Nice job there with the lyrics. That was cute.
Thank you.
Curtain up, curtain up.
I haven't been hearing them every day for the last 4 weeks. No.
Jealous.
No. The way in which so many of my friends are like, so what if I just dropped off some food to you at rehearsal? I was like, I think I'd get fired, but it's I know it's going to be a hot ticket. It's going to be I think rightfully so. Yeah.
But why did you want to see Audra take on Rose?
Well, I love working with her because I think she's very smart and she's this ferret when it comes to truth. She just keeps digging and digging and digging, and she can't lie. She can't lie, and she won't lie. So she's just driven to know the truth and to embody it and to find it inside of herself. And then the ultimate brave act is then to share it with other people, and that's what she does. And that's what kind of artist she is. So it's fun and thrilling when you work with somebody like that.
Audra McDonald, when you think back to the first time you saw Audra on stage, whether it was Carousel, right, or it was Ragtime, and she walks on stage and immediately you feel what she's feeling. She's just something about who she is as a person. You feel that. So to feel radical empathy for Mama Rose when she comes on, and suddenly you're like, you know what? I can see it. I can see how she got there. But you also feel the pain and the despair, but you also feel the ambition and the drive in her children, all of it. You feel it. And then she sings with that voice. And you're just like, you can't believe it.
I am very excited for this. Like I said, this is after doing over 25 shows in musical theater. This is my first classic, so I'm very excited. As I said before, I grew up on Gypsy, so I know the show from the back of my hand. And this is actually the first time on Broadway in over, I believe, 50 years, is that new choreography is going to be done for it. So I'm staying within the world. I'm staying within the classic Broadway, but it's through my lens.
I love it. But I mean, we're dealing with the burlesque world. We're dealing with vaudeville. It must be a lot of fun inspiration to play with.
Absolutely. And I have a burlesque consultant, Andrew Bontani, and I just met with her because I really wanted to understand the world of burlesque and to hear the history of it and to also talk about Black burlesque performers. And it's been exciting to really see into that world because we all have our different worlds and our different crafts. And to see that this is a craft is really exciting.
So let's talk about a certain Act 2 showstopper featuring some body-jaded burlesque ladies. You are one of them.
You know what you're talking about.
How fun is it to pull this number together? You got to have a gimmick.
It's thrilling. Now, you said jaded, and I will push back. They are not jaded, which is wonderful. It's actually really joyous. It's three women coming together. What about that situation? Three women coming together to offer the main character a new direction in their fate, right? I'm not saying Greek or anything, but I'm just saying that is something that is ancient and true. And that's another reason why Gypsy is so good. These ancient sort of tropes that are coming that are worthwhile. So we get to be three women who pass on joy, who pass on affirmation, who pass on, you find something that makes your strip special. That's all you need. You don't need talent. You just need to find what makes you special and share it with the world, and that is enough. Now we are doing it with our tits to the sky and crazy costumes and who knows what else. But why I think that number is so well known and affecting to so many people. You got to get a gimmick. It's something everyone can relate to in their own life, and at the core of it, it is joyous. So there's a lot of joy. Even though it's a dark story, and even though we go to different places, there's a lot of joy in the story.
It's been so amazing to feel the chemistry between the three of us. And when we get to that end, there's a lyric at the end of the song that's "Take a look how different we are." And the three of us are so different, but something really amazing happens when we start all singing together. And those are the moments too that you really just can't plan out. It's just things just start happening, and so that has been the most fun for me.
When were you first introduced to this number? Do you remember when you first saw it, or?
I was 6 years old in bedroom with my cousin, who I think was still in a crib. And my uncle, her father, was musical directing it. And so he was playing it all the time, and we were listening to it, and she became obsessed with the movie. And so then I became obsessed with the movie. And I remember when we got, she really loved Act 1. We got to Act 2, and I got to that number, and I just said, rewind, rewind. I'd never seen anything like it, and it didn't even cross my mind that it was inappropriate or about stripping. I had no idea.
Right.
I just was so fascinated by the strength in these women, in their, in their weirdness, in their niche, in their individuality, not trying to acclimate. And, I think that is what really resonated with me as a young girl.
Do you remember the first time you were introduced to it?
100%. I played Baby Louise when I was 9, and the great Marsha Lewis, who's no longer with us, was my Mama Rose. And I remember, I swear to you, at 9 years old, I was like, I want to be them. I want to be those strippers.
So you were how old?
9.
Yeah.
It tracks.
Yeah.
It totally tracks. And I swear I wanted to do that song. And to get to do it on Broadway, it's like, it's the most iconic of iconic things.
The kids in it make me laugh too. Just having kids in the room makes the world a little lighter.
Kids and dogs.
Oh my Chowsy darling is the star of this show. Okay?
Good to know. Well, can I get an interview? What's going on? Where's the real star?
You'll have to talk to her manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you introduce us?
I'm not that close with her yet, so don't feel really comfortable. Yeah.
It's such an incredible company. Everybody's been so exquisitely cast and just brings all of their authenticity and talent and no ego to the project. Everybody really is just dedicated to embodying the story in the best way that we can. It's been a joy to see their talent on this show. The kids are incredible. I can't wait for the audiences to experience the babies. They are fantastic. They are delicious, and it is so. And there's something kind of amazing about seeing, this young black talent as these little kids out there singing extra, extra, and the baby June and baby Louise. They're just beautiful.
And Chowsy.
Tana June. I named her, just so you know.
The real star of the show.
Yes, Tana June is the real star of this show. She knows it. We all know it. She probably has the best dressing room. I haven't looked, but I'm sure she does.